Welcome to the Windows channel, and this is the Tech News Update. We are Friday, September the 22nd, 2017. And today in our Tech News Update, we have Canonical, that is also behind Ubuntu, is of course partnering with Microsoft, as we've seen, the different Linux and Windows and all of that. But also now with the Microsoft Azure, server and cloud services. And basically, they tailored a Linux kernel that works with Microsoft Azure and has the advantage of being smaller and faster. Who would have thought that Microsoft would be in love with Linux so much? In other news, Microsoft is about to open a retail store in London. Right now it has 116 retail stores, mostly in the United States, but also Canada and Australia. But it wants to expand and have stores in other countries, a little bit like the Apple stores, basically. So it is apparently set to open in 2018 in London. Well, the Windows Store, bye-bye, will basically be called the Microsoft Store. Yep, a interesting thing was actually noticed by a user that is on the release preview ring, and noticed that the icon on the Windows Store had changed. But also, when he clicked on it, noticed that the name had changed to Microsoft Store. So it seems that in a very near future, we'll be actually testing out the Microsoft Store instead of the Windows Store. Well, a survey about fake news says that 79% of the people are worried about fake news, and that something needs to be done about it. And in a surprising kind of information, or basically statistic, the UK and China are the two countries the most in favor of government regulations for the internet. So this is very interesting. They surveyed 15 countries. Not all countries want to have the government rule the internet in some way, but apparently in the UK right now it's at 58%, the number of people that basically they want to, the percentage of people that want to have some form of government rule. So kind of interesting here. Well, Maria, this is the brand new Transatlantic undersea cable. Last year, in 2016, Microsoft had mentioned that it would collaborate with Facebook to create and actually build a major new pipeline for data from the United States to Europe. So basically, it's completed, and if all goes well, it should start actually being used in early 2018. It goes from Virginia in the United States, Virginia Beach more precisely, and goes up to Spain basically, and it has a capacity of 160 terabits per second of data. The reason behind this, of course, is that the biggest increase in data going from one continent to the other is across the Atlantic Ocean, and that it was really, really important to create some new pipeline to actually increase the amount of data that can actually travel between both continents. Well, a ransomware that we're not really sure if it's a ransomware for real or just a prank, called Ransomware. Well, it doesn't want you to pay cash, doesn't want you to pay in bitcoins. It just wants to have 10 nude pictures of the victim to get a key to unencrypt the files. So it's like, really? What the hell is that? You want to have 10 nude pictures of the victims? That's kind of weird. Well, when you get a study done and it doesn't say what you want it to say, what do? You just kind of, put it in the trash. Well, the European Union paid for a study that would, of course, lay out, and actually they had a 300-page report laying out the effects of piracy on the content and the sales of content. Well, that 300-page study discovered that piracy doesn't harm sales at all, and that even in some cases, it helps sales. So they probably weren't happy with that result because it's not what they probably wanted the study to say. So of course they trashed it. So they paid for it, didn't like it, and trashed it. And finally, CCleaner is actually maybe worse. The malware that was injected in it is probably worse than previously thought. It seems that it might affect a lot more people than CCleaner or Avast wanted to admit at first. But not just that, it seems that it also affects some really high profile networks and enterprise, which is kind of scary when you think about it. So, of course, as we get more details, we'll probably come back on this very, unusual but very surprising event of, the malware in the CCleaner that happened for about 31 days. And so this was the Tech News Update for Friday, September 22nd, 2017. You enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.